Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here for this special live conversation. Today, I'm honoured to welcome my teacher and dear friend, Master Peter Caughey, founder of Forest Rock Qigong, doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, author, acupuncturist, herbalist, and globally respected teacher. Many of you will know Pete's work or perhaps have come across Forest Rock's teachings online or in person. He's dedicated over 30 years to sharing the wisdom of Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine around the world, helping thousands of people reconnect with themselves, nature, and a deeper sense of balance and well-being. In this conversation, we're going to explore the theme of Qigong for modern life, why this ancient practice remains so relevant today, what makes it unique, and how its principles can support us all in navigating the complexities and stresses of the modern world. Peter, thank you so much for being here today. And Peter, can you start by sharing a little about your personal journey, what led you into traditional Chinese medicine and then Qigong? And was there a pivotal moment when you knew you were on the right path?
Which one of those questions do you want me to answer?
Let's start by sharing a bit about your personal journey to TCM and Qigong, or did it come vice versa, like Qigong then TCM?
So it actually started with Tai Chi, actually. The original start was, I remember when I was about 17 years old watching somebody doing Tai Chi on TV, and I used to sit there and try and copy them, and there was something about that I just really loved. But I had an affinity for traditional Chinese artifacts and Chinese culture when I was really young, because I didn't even know I was Chinese. And my father didn't know, and I didn't find out till after I was 20-something years old. So there was this inner yearning for that in some way, I don't know. So then I changed and I went off in the normal routine as a New Zealander. I went off and played rugby, and I joined the army. I did all the bloke things you do in New Zealand. But there was always something that's, I think, running in the background. I remember when I was really young, I was at the Army Hall, and I remember seeing across the road there was this old guy and a whole lot of students practicing Tai Chi, and it reminded me what I saw on TV, and it was very cool. Yeah. And I thought to myself, I must do that one day. I'm going to jump 10 years after that forward. Yeah. And when I started doing Tai Chi with this guy, and I was in the class for about 2 years. I'd been trained for about 2 years with him. And he walked around and he said to me, this was in Auckland, it wasn't even in Gisborne, it was in a totally different place. And he said to me, he walked past and said, I wondered how long it was going to take. And I says, what? He says, for you to get to this class. I said, I just never want to do it. He says, no, I remember you watching me on the Army Hall, on the steps in the Army Hall. Now that was like over 50 meters away on the other side of the road. And he remembered that, and all the hair stood up my arms, and I said, how did you know that was me? 10 years later, and he's saying, wow. So there was something destined that was meant to happen in that. And there's lots of parts to that, but I just wanted to share that story. That's a beautiful story. Yeah. And I started doing Tai Chi later in life. It wasn't because I was too busy doing all the sports things, and I was in the military. I did lots of things. So Tai Chi really wasn't there. I went back to that because I used to go and see him for my health. If I had anything go wrong with me, I'd go and see him because he'd just fix anything. Yes. And I had a major thing that happened in my life, and I went to ask him for help. It was the first time after 10 years of knowing me ever mentioned about coming to do Tai Chi. And he said, yes, I think you should come and do some Tai Chi. Oh, beautiful. And I went to a class, and that was 30 years ago. I've been practicing ever since. Wow. There was something about it that spoke to me. There was something in it that just touched some part of me. I can't even really explain that. But I just wanted to know what it was, and it lit me up. It gave me a different view of life. That I was in the rugby racing beer community in New Zealand, you know, the community. Can be like that. Yeah, and also a little place like Gisborne, so it was very predominant like that. And this was way out of that. This is the step way out of that. And seen as a hippie in those days, and get involved in something really strange like this. Amazing. Yeah, but there was something, and I just love it. And I've just done it ever since. I went and did a degree in Chinese medicine. I just did a degree in it. So that actually was the tipping point, like learning about Tai Chi, and then... The Tai Chi started because he used to teach all about the traditional Chinese medicine, and he used to do the Qigong as well. Okay. So I started way back then when I first started. It was just intrigued in this Chinese medical culture of how they saw wellness. And of course, when I used to go and see him as an acupuncturist as well. So I had an interest in the medicine as well. Beautiful. And when I left the military, I worked outside for a while, and then I decided to go and do a degree. in Chinese medicine, and it's never stopped it ever since.
And that's where it all began. Beautiful. Yeah. For those who might be completely new to Qigong, how would you explain what Qigong is?
So the Qigong means the cultivation or the use of the skill of using Qi, which is like energy. And so Tai Chi comes under the banner of Qigong. Qigong is like this big picture. And then we've got martial Qigong, which is Tai Chi, where they use the energy as a martial art. Then you have the Qigong exercise, which is like the self-practicing to keep the energy flowing. And then there's medical Qigong to help rectify disharmonies in the body. Yep. And so that's where they all fit. So Qigong is like this energetic system. You talk about Qigong healing, you talk about Reiki as the Japanese version of healing. Same, and hands down descending all the meridians and channels and things. So the Qigong is about how you move the energy around the meridians and unlock blockages and release emotional tension and slow the heartbeat down, slow the mind down, and all those sort of things. It all does the anonymous for doing that.
Tai Chi, just to clarify, Tai Chi came out of Qigong.
Yeah, Qigong would, if you put it classically under the where it should fit.
Yes.
The Tai Chi is the martial part of Qigong.
Okay.
The martial art part of Qigong is using the energy. So a lot of the exercises in the Tai Chi also went from the Tai Chi back to the Qigong because they were really powerful exercises, postures. Yeah. And they took them back and made Qigong exercise out of them. And then some of the Qigong was about this. So it went both ways. But you'd probably see that the Qigong, the art of the skill of moving the Qi, there's a martial component to it.
Okay.
And you'd normally see it like that, but some people would probably like to put Tai Chi above that. But
and so Qigong is the healing art and Tai Chi is the martial art.
Yeah,
if you put it in that way.
That's a nice simple way. I agree, that's what it is.
And so also, would a good comparison of Qigong be that maybe some relativity might be that people may have had acupuncture before, and so Qigong is like the acupuncture without the needles? Is that an interesting way of comparing it?
Yeah, it's like that.
Well, working with our meridians and energetic system.
Two ways you do it, of course. Medical Qigong is that the practitioner moves the energy around your body without touching you.
Yes.
And moves and clears the channels. When you're doing Qigong exercises, you do exercise that evoke the energy to move around the body for you.
Okay.
And here's the exercise where you rub points and you scan the energy. So there's lots of different parts of Qigong, but all of it's to do the same thing.
Okay.
Get the energy moving smoothly, tonify the energy so we have energy for a start. But it's good. Move the energy which you've got and get rid of any blockages. And they believe if you do that, then you just don't get any disharmonies. You're not going to get sick because the body's just functioning perfectly.
So Qigong is a practice is a preventative measure for our health. And also, so if we practice Qigong, we can potentially prevent getting disorder or disease.
Yeah.
And if we do have disorder or disease, then Qigong is a beautiful practice to be able to potentially heal us through that.
Yeah, both.
Yes.
Yeah, because in theory, if you don't have a lot of energy, it's just really simple. If you don't have a lot of energy, if your energy level is low,
yes,
then you don't have enough energy for all the functions of your body to work. So then it's not going to get enough energy, and they're going to just have dysfunction with whatever their energy they are.
Yeah.
But if you've got a lot of energy,
yes,
then basically everything in the body works properly.
Yeah.
It's really simple. So the Qigong either builds your energy up to keep it full,
yes,
along with breathing, which we're going to talk about, and food.
Yes.
Or if you've got really run down and tired and you've got the dysfunction going on, then it can build your energy up and then get the energy moving to get you back about health again.
How does Qigong compare to other forms of practices of healing arts, such as meditation? What makes it so different and unique compared to other practices? Other movement or meditation practices?
I think that you've got to go back to the lineage. You've got to go back to how long it's been around.
How long has it been around?
Thousands of years. I talk about it in Neijing, the Guandi Neijing, which is one of the original Chinese medical books. It talks about the movement of qi and how to use qi in the body and how to fight through exercises. And so it dates back a long time. And so it's trial and proven over centuries of how it works. And it still does the same thing today because the body hasn't really changed. It still has the same meridian, the same. We have slightly different conditions now we didn't have to because they didn't have computers. They didn't have scrolling fingers like we have now. It's slightly different energetic complaints that are happening, lots to do with stress and worry and things. I'm sure thousands of years ago they still had stress and worry, but it's just different energetic now.
Yeah.
So it dates back a long way. So it's been proven. It's like the acupuncture. The same points do the same thing now as they did before.
Yeah.
Thousands of years ago, they still have exactly the same.
Thousands of years ago, they discovered that the energetic systems had these meridians and these channels. Do you think they were dissecting people back then?
Who knows? Who knows? That's the big question. How did they know where these meridians were?
Exactly.
And I know I have friends who can actually see the energy in the body. So there are people who have had this. But then the acupuncture point, how did they know each of those acupuncture points did that specific thing, and that one did a different thing, and that one did a different thing? How did they work that? I don't know. I think
extraordinary.
it was in every modality that in every part of time as a human being, we've had energetic medicine come in at a certain time, and it's been there to help the human beings, and it comes in through different ways. And the Chinese medicine was brought into the world early for people to help them stay healthy and not all die. And so it's been a modality that's been trying to improve a long time, but there's new modalities come in from modern times that are helping what's going on now. A lot of the Western medical interventions, we never had RMIs, so we could go and discover what it looked like from the inside. So there's a whole change in it, but this is something that still works. I still treat people and still change whatever's going wrong with them just with acupuncture.
And so I guess Qigong is unique to other practices because it embodies and encompasses so many different things, such as breath, movement, exercise, posture, balance. And so that's done in a form that is so holistic. That's potentially what makes it so different, as how it works with our energetic system, and also all the other factors that contribute to it as such an incredible practice.
I totally agree. I think it's because it covers a lot of different bases. Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine goes right back to the diet, it goes back to sleep, it goes back to food, it goes back to everything that we do. As it's not just exercise makes you, or not just breathing exercises make you, it's a combination of all of that. And if you're living that life with all those functions and getting sleep and getting everything we need and balance and exercise in your body. And the Qigong is exercising the energetic part of our body. I still go to the gym, I still go for runs, I still walk, I still swim.
Yes.
Like yourself. Yes. We still get the physical exercise because our body, we're a physical body, we need physical exercise.
That's right.
But we're also energetic body, so we need to exercise the energy in the body. It's the same thing. That's where the Qigong does exercises. It's a nice way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like push-ups for our energetic system, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. We have to train it. If you don't use something, you lose it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want a lot of energy in the body, you have to do some energy practice to have lots of energy.
Absolutely.
It's not just eating food.
Yeah. And so why is Qigong, based on its ancient roots, but why is it so relevant for today?
Oh, that's easy. Stress. The world of the uncertainty, especially now in the world, the uncertainty world is just crazy.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of fear.
Yes.
And that creates a lot of emotional disturbances, the stress, the anxiety. It's in some country in the world, it's just off the chart. You know, as we know in the countries we visited, they're not happy.
No.
And so the Qigong, because what the Qigong does is it slows the breathing down.
Yes.
Which slows the heart down.
Yes.
And also slows the mind down.
Yes.
So as soon as you slow the mind down, it takes that frantic anxiety, all of a sudden just starts to relax, let go a little bit.
Yes.
So it's such a good practice because it does that. And I'm always advertising about the stress reduction, but it's just because you slow down. Slow down the breathing, slow down. The breathing is a huge piece to this.
Yes.
And so once you're slowing your breath down, the heart slows down.
That's right.
And then everything, and then the bounding heart just starts to relax. As soon as you relax, then the anxiety dissipates. It doesn't necessarily go away, but it certainly gets better.
And also the practice of Qigong brings us into a very present space, yes? So it's a form of actually coming back to ourselves, coming home to ourselves. Really, through my own practice, it's such a full embodiment practice, but actually coming home and being present with oneself and being able to calm the chattery mind down through the breath and the lovely, flowing, accessible movements. You can feel that energetic system, but how it brings it back into yourself is so relevant. So it's really a practice that in this modern day is so essential, right?
Yeah, I think it's getting even more essential. It's to bring some sanity, otherwise it's just crazy. And I think to slow the mind down, to slow the chatter down.
Yes.
And to get yourself out of that place. And what you said about the present moment is such an important part, because when you're in your mind, you're busy over there thinking about them, thinking about that, thinking about that. All of that's outside of our body.
Yes.
But as soon as you bring yourself back inside your body, back inside your heart, or the energetic of your heart, then your body can just go, and it can center itself.
Yes.
And then you catch your mind running off about fears and worries again, and then bring
Yes.
it back. So I think that
Yes.
being in the present moment about who you really are right now is such an important thing.
Oh, and it's so important in this time and age when our minds are just full of clutter, right? I think it's a number one practice. It's kept me sane lately.
Well, that's why I teach it, because I think it's number one as well.
So in your experience of teaching around the world, what common challenges, you've touched on it now, but do you see people struggling with that Qigong can really help and address other than stress?
I think that one of the big things with Qigong that I think is one of the hidden things that happens inside it, it brings you back to awareness of self. It brings you back to yourself. And so your mind's not out there. Because you're slowing down and you're taking your mind inside your body when you're training, so you can feel the arms moving, you can feel the chi moving. And by feeling that happening inside your body, it brings a presence of self. It brings a more awareness of who we are instead of what we are doing. It's about who we are actually inside ourselves, and realize that we are the special thing that we're walking around in. And having an awareness of self and not things, I think it's a beautiful practice because it does that. And so all around the world, people just walk around in their heads. They talk from each other in their heads. They do everything in their heads. And there's like bodies lugging their head around, and it's a strange phenomenon. And what the Qigong does is, they talk about embodiment, which is a cliched word, but what it does is bring them back so that they can actually feel from their soul, or from their soul experience of life, not the head experience of life.
From the heart.
It's the heart, which is the soul. The soul's having an experience. Chinese medicine, I think we were talking about the other day, the soul comes into this practice, it comes into the world to experience life. It doesn't understand the difference between wrong and right. It just wants experience. Only our head's got the idea of what's wrong and right, but the soul doesn't. It just wants experience. It wants to feel sadness, it wants to feel laughter, it wants to feel anger, it wants to feel all of it, because it's experience. So as soon as our mind gets involved, then we get involved in what we think's right, and how I should act, and how everybody else should act, and how the world should act.
And how people think about
what they think of me, whether they like me or love me or not. And then there's got all this judgment, but in your heart, it doesn't actually care. It's free from that. It wants experience and accepts everything for the way it is. Oh, to be able to do that every 5 minutes of my life. I'm not quite got to that stage, but I understand the principle of it because I get glimpses of it.
Which makes me want to touch a little bit around why Qigong. Qigong there's the physical aspect of it, there's the emotional aspect of it, there's the mental and the spiritual aspect of it. So what is the spiritual aspect of Qigong? That we are energetic beings on the soul journey, and we're like this energetic vessel between the universe and the earth, like from the heavens to the earth. And so is that the spiritual connection in Qigong? When you talk about the sheen, I know what sheen is, but others may not, and why that's...
So if we go back to the idea that most people are in their minds thinking.
Yes.
And they see life through their mind, and their mind's judgment and their mind's understanding of how life is. We're talking about the Shen, which is the big consciousness. We have the small Shen, which is a part of that Shen comes into us to have the experience, which is our soul.
Okay.
We're not going to know that, but when you're practicing Qigong, because it slows your mind down and because it puts your mind into your spirit, so you actually feel your body through your soul and have a soul's expression of what this feels like, what comes with that, not because it necessarily is the ultimate goal why you started, what comes with that you realize that this is connected to something else. And you have expressions of training when you can feel the thing outside of you, and you can feel you and you're part of that thing, and you go, okay, what's that? Now, and you're looking out and the trees are moving, and they're going, okay, there's something else going on that I'm somehow connected to that.
That's right.
And it gives you that experience. I say a byproduct, but it's probably the goal of it anyway, how it was set up as a doorway to get from this world to understand there's another part. And I think the Qigong is a beautiful vehicle for doing that. And then you realize, then you want to know what that other thing is. Then the search starts.
Definitely. And I can vouch for experiencing that through the training and working with the Heaven to Earth program, which is such a powerful, beautiful experience where you really do feel connected to the wider universe, to the energetic life force that's amongst everything, right?
That thing, whatever that thing is.
That thing
we have a myriad different ways of describing it, but whatever. But it goes back to a personal experience of that connection. Yeah. It's a personal thing because everybody experiences it differently.
Exactly.
I hate to narrow it down and give it one name.
No, that's right. That's right. And with Qigong, there's so many different forms of Qigong, right? Or so many different practices of Qigong. Like we've just learnt the share by share and the heaven to earth and the 5 elements. Are there particular reasons why you practice and teach these particular forms, or are there, what does each form bring?
I can talk to a little.
Just a little bit more about the different forms and how they connect us in different ways.
Yeah. I'll go with what came to me then. It's like, they're like different sports.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Or they're learning to play the piano or the bagpipes or shoot goals or paint or sing or play the drums. They're all an action you get to have an experience with.
Okay.
And they're all different experiences. And remember, the soul's searching for these experiences. It wants to try them all.
Right.
It wants to sit on a roller coaster and know what that feels like.
Yes, certainly.
It's either terrified or not, but it wants to know.
Yeah, sure.
And so that the Qigong systems have different characters. So when you do a certain character, you would do this form, it has a certain energetic character that creates that experience. And then you go to 5 element, it creates this experience of the balancing the elements inside our body and connecting to nature. And have heaven and earth, now it's connecting to heaven and us.
Yes.
And the share by share, the 18 exercises, they're all medical, helping to balance yourself out, to have this experience, to have that experience.
Yes, wow.
So I chose them very carefully about the journey they take you on.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's lots of different sets. I do a lot.
You do a lot more than...
I do lots of different sets. And they're all very unique.
Then
they have their own, and I'll choose them for whatever the people need at the time, what we're doing, and I'll pick the exercise I think's right for what their question is.
That's right.
It's like doing Tai Chi. If you do a Tai Chi form, I do lots of Tai Chi, so I do Chen and I do Yang and I do Wu styles and I do sword. But the person who invented the form, his character's in the form. So when you do it, you feel like him because you can feel him inside the energetics of the exercise. And then you do Mr. Wu's form and you get to feel what Mr. Wu feels like. Mr. Chen, he just liked to fight. Because it was the true martial. The martial was all still in the Fa Jing inside the fight of the Chen style. So there's this the warrior thing lives in that, which I love that. So there's just different characters, and you're almost putting a different jacket on when you perform the different forms. And they really do feel, and people that do Tai Chi or know exactly what I'm talking about. So the Qigong's the same. You almost put a different cloak on to have a different experience. Still about energy, still about wellness, because they're all designed to keep you well. Let's have a slightly different flavor. And the analogy of the sports one was great. It's not only sports, but it's music, it's swimming. They're all
different forms.
They're all forms, but they all take you into a different experience, but they're all good for your health.
That's the key thing. They're all good for your health, right?
Yeah, they help everything move perfectly inside to have the experience.
That's right.
In a healthy way. Instead of waking up in the morning tired, you wake up in the morning feeling fantastic.
That's right. And you wake up in the morning and you want to do Qigong.
You want to practice.
You want to practice.
You just want to feel that feeling. You don't want it to go away.
No, you don't.
You want to wake up and feel that much energy every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You want to wake up and go, yay, what am I going to do today? Instead of waking up and go, oh, I've got to go to work.
Yeah.
And not wake up. I refuse to wake up like that.
And also then, of course, there's Qigong that can help you get you to sleep at night if you've got too much.
Shut off the other end.
Yes, the other end as well. Exactly. I've had a little bit of erratic sleep lately, and I've been doing Sage Presents Peach, and I've been doing the massaging the feet. And I can definitely state that they've been helping.
It helps to turn the energy off.
That's right.
And so,
turn it on, turn it on. What is, say, different from Qigong to something like yoga?
It's a great thing. The yogic practice, when it first started, the asana practice, it says it in the limbs of yoga that the asana practice was just to prepare you for meditation. It was just a physical practice to get you ready for meditation. What's the Qigong similar? Because what it did with the yoga practice, it stretched all your body, all your ligaments, tendons, all your joints, everything, opened it all up so there was no blockages. So you could sit quietly and meditate and connect yourself to the thing outside. I don't think the Tai Chi does and the Qigong does. The Qigong more because of the purpose. And it allows to open up the body, open up the energy, get the energy moving smoothly so you can relax and then you can feel the same place.
Yes, understand.
It's almost like they've both got a different variety of ways of getting to the same place. And the ancient yogic practice is an extraordinary practice.
100%.
In its purest form, the same with the Qigong and Tai Chi. And so you could see the energetics of both those, how they were established, were a hugely spiritual practice.
Because my understanding was also yoga was like pranayama, or the breath was actually, the breath practice became almost before the asana practice.
Before the asana practice, correct. The breath was there before. So it goes right back and goes back to the chanting and all the mantras and all the singing and all the things, the vibrational things, it goes all the way back to that. So the practice is great. It's just the modern world takes a piece of it.
Yes.
And then they use that to monetize it. And I'm doing the Qigong, they do it in the yoga, they do it in lots of things. And then they combine the two of them, call it Qi Yoga or something, I don't know, something like that. And then they take a piece of these two beautiful practices and they mix them together, but they're not the same. They're really different because they have different culture and different understandings. Like the 5 elements, and the 2 of them are different.
Yes.
They have a different 5 element system.
Yes.
Both of them are perfect. They're just for a different system.
Of course.
Of understanding how we are as humans on the planet.
Yeah. And one thing I think about Qigong compared to yoga, and this is coming from my own personal experience, is that I feel Qigong is so much more accessible to people of all physical abilities, and that you don't have to be super lean and super flexible or strive towards that to be able to do Qigong. And that I've often said that I do Qigong, and some people have said to me, oh, isn't Qigong just for old people? And then I go, oh, the reason they're old is because the reason they're old is because they've been practicing Qigong.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. At least they've got to be old.
That's right.
That's always because it's slow, you see. Because the practices are slow, and so they look at that and go, "Oh, old people go slow, so that must be for them because they go in slow, and old people the same." But you can ask, and I've been in China, and I've asked the old people, and I asked them, "So what was the one thing you learned about the Tai Chi?" And they just about everybody says the same. I wish I had done it when I was young. Because they just didn't know.
Yeah, sure.
Because they thought it was for old people as well. Then when they do it, and they go, "Oh my God, I feel so good. I wish I had known this when I was 20."
Yeah.
But people tell 20-year-olds, "Oh, you should practice Qigong." "Oh, it's for old people." So they even get the clue, but they still don't do it.
Yeah.
And so they miss it out. And so to get into it when we're young,
yes,
way before we get to that, because we're still young, to get into it at our age, and we've got 40 years of practice to go, which is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of these people, of course, they practice since they were kids.
Yeah, sure.
But we got into it really at a time where we're not waiting till we get 80 before we start doing Tai Chi.
That's right.
Which is it's exciting.
Yeah.
And then we get to pass it on to other people that this exists. Otherwise, nobody would know. See, my son, he's 9, he knows it already, and he does it now. He's out there playing with my swords and things.
Yeah.
So he's already got it at 9.
Yeah, how blessed.
I was 4 times older than him before I found it.
Yeah. Pete, just talking about when you were in the New Zealand Army as an SAS paratrooper?
That's why they call it Special Air Services.
Okay, Special Air Services. That must have taught you a lot of discipline and how that translated into your practice. At what point when you were in the Army, were you into the Qigong, the Tai Chi at that stage, or did that come during that time?
It came during the time. And so I was in the Special Forces. During the Special Forces is when I had the big trauma in my life with my first wife.
Yes, okay.
And I was looking for some answers to that.
I see.
And so the only way I got around the answer to that was I went and talked to my Tai Chi teacher. I didn't know who to talk to about it. So I started practicing, and so it gave me some relief from that part, but I was still doing operational.
Okay.
So I had that and this going on, and they weren't in conflict in a way, but they were in a conflict in another way. And so it just gave me a different perspective of life.
Okay.
And they always give me a bit of a hard time. I spent half my life learning how to kill people, and now I spend most of my life trying to save people. So this is a yin-yang balance thing. But the Special Forces, it wasn't just the discipline. I love the camaraderie because I played years and years of rugby too. I had the team thing going on from a very young age.
Sure.
I loved the team sport thing, and the camaraderie of that's really good. So the military had that. But the military helped you find another part of yourself,
yes,
which is different to the Qigong. The Qigong finds you who you are energetically in this connection. But the military helps to find out who you are as in your courage and your honor and your perseverance. It's a different piece it opens.
Okay.
So it opens a different part of our character. It opens up the physicality of how hard you can push this thing, how much you can inflict pain on your physical body. So it takes you out to an experience of that one on a different thing, where the Qigong was all about the energetic experience. This is all about the physical one. Different. It gave me a very different look from one side to the other side. So I know they both exist. And so I have no judgment both. I just know that both sides, you get something really unique from them, and they're really useful. And it's just the practice of the experience.
And that brings me around to Qigong. Is like from my journey with Qigong, feels like Qigong is the perfect complementary practice for anything you do, whether you are a elite athlete, a weightlifter, a swimmer, a free diver, a rugby player. It's a very complementary practice for everything you do.
It allows you to slow down.
Yes.
It allows you to calm your mind and get your thoughts precise.
That's right.
It allows your heart to slow down. It allows you to connect to yourself, and all of those things you need when you're playing sport.
That's right.
The people that are the most incredible sports people in the world are the ones that are mentally the strongest.
Yes.
And the Qigong teaches you, it grows your mental strength
100%.
by being able to stay present and not want your mind off. So you're controlling your mental ideas and mind. Just like, I think of Michael Schumacher on Lewis Hamilton, where that hour and 20 minutes, they stay focused on a track doing 300 miles an hour.
Yes.
If they come out of that place for a second, they crash.
Yeah. Sure.
So the mental toughness of that is extraordinary. It's the same with any sport that's done at that level. And the Qigong just teaches you how you can stay in that place too, and how long you can sit in that space without thinking about it. So the meditation is the same thing.
Yeah.
The meditation trains you to stay in that space without your mind interfering with it.
Beautiful. One thing I want to talk about is the breath. The breath for me is our source. It's our connection between the spirit and earth, and how I see Qigong as a form of breath work. We're working with our breath and working with the movement. Why do you think the breath is so essential for Qigong?
We're talking about the energy.
Yes.
So we're talking about how to manage your energy, move your energy, balance your energy, increase your energy. One of the ways you do that is you get energy from the oxygen. You get it from food, you get it from oxygen. And Qigong, of course, you get it from outside coming in your pores.
Okay.
So you learn how to get it another way. So the breathing is one of the most important ways you can get oxygen, can get energy into your body. So if you're working with the energy, you want to know where the source you're going to get the energy from. And we know it's got a lot to do with the food. And we also know it's got a lot to the air we breathe. So they have to focus on those two. They're the sources of the energy that you want in your body so you can do what you can do. So Chinese medicine always goes back to the root cause. The root cause of where the energy comes from is two different places, the food and the oxygen.
Okay.
So then if you're not catering for the breathing, then you're just getting from food, you're only getting half your possibility. And it's so simple with the breath is the longer you have oxygen in your lungs, the more oxygen's absorbed into your blood. So if you take a long, slow, quiet breath, it's in your lungs longer, so you absorb more oxygen. You get more energy. But if you breathe short, you only have so much oxygen at a time.
And you're blowing off too much carbon dioxide as the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
They did a study on that. Something like 20% of the oxygen you breathe in, you keep, and the other 80% you breathe out. So we don't absorb a lot of oxygen.
No, we don't absorb that much oxygen.
But Qigong, you do because you breathe slower, so the oxygen's there longer. Now you've just doubled the amount of energy you're getting. That's why when it's easy, because when you're running, all of a sudden you're breathing hard. You're trying to get enough oxygen, you can't get the carbon dioxide out, but you're still trying to get oxygen to get the energy from the oxygen to breathe. And so all it's doing is just teaching you how to do that with longer, slow breaths so you get more oxygen.
And in time with the movements too. It's like breathing in harmony with movement. And
then the movement starts activating all the meridians and things moving. The breath, the energy you're getting, now you're taking it into the body to move the body through the energy of the oxygen.
And so what would you say to someone who feels intimidated or thinks they need to be fit or spiritual to start Qigong?
Which one?
Well, both.
Because people have stories about things they've never tried. People have stories about everything that they haven't tried. And they'll hear stories from other people that have never tried it or their bad experiences, whatever it is. It's just one of those things that have the experience, try everything. I think I've tried every healing modality. I hear of something I haven't tried that, I'll just go and try it to see what it is. Because I'm intrigued with what people are bringing into the world. So the Qigong is one of those things, if you've never tried it, I think you just want to be able to tick that box. It's almost like practice, say, I've never been for a swim. Go for a swim and then you can tick the box and you know what it feels like. You don't necessarily have to learn to swim, just get in the water. And the Qigong is just try it. All these people are saying good things about it, there must be something in it. And so mine is just try. It doesn't have to, it's not difficult because you don't need to do anything. You just need to breathe in and breathe out and lift your arms up. And even if you're in a wheelchair or even wherever you are, there are some people who can't move, of course.
Yeah.
But anything you do is going to open a different door for having experience of that.
That's right. So that's interesting you say you can do Qigong lying down, you can do Qigong sitting down. If you've got a broken leg or something, you could sit there and still do a number of the exercises that will have a similar effect or the same effect.
I've seen some people have remarkable healings from lying in a hospital bed doing Qigong.
Wow.
And we're told they'd never walk again. And they're walking today by doing Qigong in hospital. So it does work, and I can only talk about first-hand experiences and watch what actually happens. So you're trying something from another culture. We're also not Indian, but we do yoga. Something that was very synonymous, really powerful in their culture, and we're trying something different. Well, I always say to people, you try the different foods, try the different exercises, you might find
the ancient practices that have come from those places.
And so it's about the experience again.
Could you just outline, like, when we hear the word traditional Chinese medicine, that is an umbrella for Qigong, acupuncture. Can you also point out all the different things that traditional Chinese medicine is, the different modalities, and how they all work together in some different capacity?
So that goes right back to the original Chinese practitioners, healing practitioners. We go back to the indigenous people of any country and their healing modalities. You had just about all of them had some form of herbal medicine. No matter what country, whether it's Aboriginal, whether it's Māori, it doesn't matter, herbal medicine. So bringing the wisdom of all of that understanding comes from the China, goes right back to the original China. And so then they talk about, oh, then foods has something to do with that. And we know that herbs have something to do with that. Know that shaman have been chanting and singing forever, so this got something to do with it. They know that the breath practice has got something to do with it. They know meditation's got something to do with it. So all of these parts are part of traditional Chinese medicine. Then they start using ideas of the cupping and the gui sha and all those different modalities that come into Chinese medicine, all of them to get the qi moving when it got stuck. The cupping was to get rid of the blockages, the gui sha was to get rid of the acupuncture, the tuina massage. All decide when you get blocked, how do we get it moving?
Yes, wow.
And so it was all this alluding to the same problem.
Yes.
Or how do you tonify? You get energy back, and by eating the herbs or drinking the herbs, in that case they were drinking. By eating certain foods, you get that energy back. And so it's just, and they just knew from way back. And it's just, and they say it's traditional because it would stem way back. The same Chinese herbs they used thousands of years ago, it's still the same ones now. I prescribed some the other day to somebody and got rid of the dysentery in 4 or 5 hours gone from just having that, just by Chinese herbs, just by giving the Chinese, these are magic. Take these, and then the day later they go, I can't believe how fast that stopped. Just thousands of year-old studies.
My understanding is that they have been found in caves like from maybe 8,000 years back, where there were images of people almost doing Qigong movements.
That's scrolls. The Bhagwan Gin were on scrolls.
Wow.
It's what we call brocades, where they're actually they were woven.
Wow.
And so it goes way back. There's some of these ancient practices. And then it goes right back to the dancing animals and things. We need the frolicking animals, which goes right back to early Qigong understanding. But before that was all the chanting. It goes back to the shaman chanting over the people that weren't well. Vibration healing them, which is the same, isn't it interesting? That's the same in so many cultures, goes back to that source.
Wow.
They're trying to keep something that was already preserved because our way of doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything in the modern ways, because some of the modern ways they're life-saving. They couldn't do that. They just died back then. So there's places for everything. You've got plenty of energy and you get to sleep and eat good food. You're just not going to get sick. So that's the end of that. And so you have to worry about sickness. It just doesn't happen.
That's it. That's your key mantra, right? Eat, go to bed early.
Yeah, and exercise.
Do some Qigong. You'll be all right.
That's it. I think the key is to go to bed, get sleep. People are tired. Just get some sleep. Most people are tired, and that's why their body's not working, because they don't have enough energy. Yeah. Get to bed, have good food, have good friends, do things, have a life that makes you. You have to exercise your body, otherwise it will die on you. You have to exercise the energetic part, which is the Qigong. Yes. You have to practice your breathing, so you breathe more quality, so you get more energy.
Pete, so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Forest Rock Qigong School, which you and Josephine have been running for what?
Well, 12 years here in Bali, but it goes back. I set up the company in 1999.
Back in New Zealand, back in the days when you were my acupuncturist.
That's right. Exactly.
Then you left me.
Sorry.
And so what does the International Forest Rock Qigong community look like? How many students have you taught? Have you got some idea of how many lives have you affected through your teaching? And would it be in the sort of 4,000 or 5,000 plus?
Thousands of people have gone through the Tai Chi school.
It's whether online or in person, right?
And so it's interesting you say that, because I don't see it's necessarily me. All I've done is pass the information, and I've just been lucky enough to be given this information from my master way back then. That changed my life, and I've just passed it on. So I get the easy job. I just get to give the people the answers to it. It's not
just me. The messenger.
Yeah, I would be that clever myself. But to be able to pass it on and just keep that method of wellness, that method of lifestyle, that method of showing up in the world and having a good life, keep that alive. So I've been really blessed. But we've got teachers teaching Qigong around the world now. A directory on a website, we have a whole lot of people, and they say where their classes are. And people from where they go around and track them down when they go overseas, and they track and go to their classes. You've done this yourself. So.
I just was over in the UK with 2 fellow students from last year, and we did a workshop there. And then I was with Iris. I think Iris is online today. I went and visited Iris in Germany. That was wonderful. And we practiced Qigong together.
But it's the
It's a
family.
magical thing.
Because they've all been taught the same exercises.
Yes.
Then you can go into a class and it's not like having to learn a whole new set of exercises. And so you connect into it straight away. So you have this exercise taught the same way all around the world. It's like, what are they, this holiday camping, isn't it? What's that one where they swap their houses and go to other people's houses?
House swaps.
Yeah,
should do Qigong swaps around the world.
Swapping.
Yeah, I had a beautiful experience when I was doing my week-long immersive graduation for my 7 Directions breathwork, and I took some Qigong with our fellow students. And I was going around the class, I was helping give some adjustments to some of the students. And there was one person I walked past and I went, they need no adjustments. And at the end of the class, this woman came up to me, this beautiful woman, Yoshi, and she said to me, have you trained with Forest Rock? And it was like, yeah. And she said, so have I. It was just like, wow, what a beautiful experience.
That's why she knew the exercises.
That's why she knew the exercises. And when I did the bow out, she said, I recognize everything about the way you teach. And it was so beautiful.
But it's lovely that it's getting out in the world that something that changed my life, getting out in the world to help change other people's lives.
That's it.
And as I say, it's not nothing to do with me and such. I'm just the one that holds the candle, but it's the teaching that is the most important part.
Yeah.
And people around the world are teaching it that and passing that out into the public to help other people have the same experience. It doesn't make me any happier than that.
It's a beautiful thing. And so are there any key principles or simple ideas from Qigong that people can apply in their everyday lives, even outside of sort of formal practice?
I don't know how many patients I treat, and my answer to their condition is you need to get some sleep. Because we've got this crazy idea that we're burning the candles at both ends. We think because we have limited time in the world, which we think we do, that we have to put as much into our day as possible. And so if we can get right up till 12 o'clock at night and then get up at 6 and still function, we're getting our day's worth. And so we've got this idea, but if you went to bed early at 9, I say 9 because it's a pivotal part in Chinese medicine to go to bed.
That's right.
If you go to bed at 9, you wake up at 5 and you...
Why is that, Pete? Why should we go to bed at 9? Come on, what's the organ?
Okay. Because during the 9 till 12,
9 p.m. to 12,
9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, each of those hours is the equivalent of 2 hours sleep.
Okay.
As long as you eat early.
Okay.
As long as you eat by 6 and then 9 o'clock you've got no food in your stomach, otherwise it'll digest.
Digestions happen. Right?
Then the body shuts down on those because nothing's happening in the body, it's resting. And those 3 hours are the pivotal sleeping hours. You get 6 hours for those 3.
And is that because of, is there one of the organs that is at its premium function at that time, between the 9 to 12?
There's nothing happening, that's the thing. Sanjiao time is during the 9 to 11.
The Sanjiao time.
And that doesn't have an organ, so there's no cleansing process. It just balances the 3 gels up, the upper and lower gel, during that time. And the first part of the other part is the gallbladder, when there's nothing happening in the first hour.
Okay.
It stores the bowel and the bile in the second, and they've done scientific studies on that. So there's a 3-hour window where our body completely shuts down. So if you can get to bed to those ones, and I always say, do your emails or do whatever you're going to do it in the morning on a fresh mind.
Yes.
And go to bed at 9 and go to bed and shut down. You wake up at 5, feel fantastic. The best thing about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, everybody else is asleep.
Exactly.
It's so quiet. Do you watch your movies at 3, 6, 5 o'clock in the morning instead of 11 o'clock at night when you're tired? And I can't stress the sleep how huge this is in health.
And so for those that may not be sleeping well, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, what's happening there? Is it our liver?
It's the liver time, yeah.
It's liver.
If you wake up at 3, it's the liver. I would pretty well guarantee it'll be the liver.
Okay.
And that will disturb you.
And is there a dysfunction with the liver that's causing you to wake up at that time?
There could be lots of things that could create that, why the liver's dysfunction, because it is the liver time. And during the night, between 1 and 3, the liver does its detox. Its main detox of all the blood and creates all the urine from the blood because the blood filters through it. It's like the night cleaner. It goes and it cleans the body. It restores the emotions. It balances the emotions.
Yes.
It takes all the hormones that are floating around the blood, repacks and takes it back to where it started, redistributes it back to its origin. And so it has this huge function. Now, if the liver's compromised because of stress, worry, anxiety, not sleeping, bad food, too much alcohol, whatever it is, the liver, then you get to 3 o'clock in the morning, it's not happy. it'll wake you up.
It wakes you up.
It'll wake you up and
Yeah.
go, and then you go,
So there you go. If you're waking up at 3 a.m, it's probably a dysfunction with your liver because it's been working too hard.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you've got enough energy to do all of that, of course, it'll do its detox and it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
But it isn't, it'll wake you up. And it can wake you up at 3:30, but it'll still be the liver.
I wonder, would there be an opportunity for you to do an exercise or two, Pete? Mate, we could move the chair back. We also see if there's any questions. If anyone has any questions they'd like to ask Pete at this point in time, maybe put it into the chat, or if you'd like to share anything about anything that we've shared today.
Ask somebody, give me something you like an exercise for. Give me an exercise that somebody wants something, and I'll give you an exercise for whatever you ask. How's that?
Okay, so
fastest typer.
Okay, what have you got? Is there an exercise you'd like for stress, anxiety, sleep, anything along those lines?
Anything.
Sleep, please. Great, go, Pete.
Somebody said sleep.
Sleep, that's a good one.
We don't even need to stand up for that one. We have to understand how Chinese medicine sees the sleep, what it actually happens during the sleep. They believe that your mind sleeps in your heart at nighttime. It's like your desktop, and this is your hard drive. And it shuts off here and turns off, goes in here. In the morning, the energy goes from your heart back into your senses. You open your eyes, your ears, your taste, and all the senses come back online again. But at nighttime, they're all shut off, so you don't have that experience. So as long as your mind's anchored it here, you have a really good night's sleep. And so anything that disturbs that inside your heart, if you have too much heat in your heart, you'll disturb, you have the nightmares and things like that because it disturbs your heart. So the exercises are generally about making your heart energy strong so you can sleep better. But when you put your mind and the energy in your heart, it switches your mind off. Otherwise, you're stuck out and stay up here.
Yeah.
All the energy in your head, it's pretty hard to turn it off from up here.
Right.
Yeah. But from down here, it's a lot easier. It's just you're trying to anchor your mind sleeping at night time. And you need energy to do that. If you don't have enough energy, that's why it's difficult to sleep if you're tired, because you don't have the energy in the heart to hold yourself asleep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. You think that you're tired, you go to sleep. But everybody knows when you get super tired, it's hard to sleep because you need energy to sleep. Yeah. I'll show you an exercise. Anyway, can you see I can't see the thing. Can you see my feet? At the bottom of your foot, we have the two pads.
Yep. I can demonstrate that too. Two pads.
Right in the middle of your foot is the point. It's a kidney 1 point. Now, this point is the first point on the kidney meridian, and the kidneys in Chinese medicine like your battery in your body. It stores the energy. And this point is the lowest point in your body, and Barkway on the top of your head is the highest point. And what happens by stimulating this point, it brings the energy out of your head. So you all know when the energy comes out of your head, you go to sleep. And so what this does is help to bring the energy out of your head and put it into your heart. That's what this point does. And we're going to do circles on it. And you're going to have your hand on it, and you're going to do circles. Now, if you can see my foot, you're going to go anti-clockwise first, which is that way. You can work out which is anti-clockwise and clockwise. You go anti-clockwise first. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I will fall asleep.
And it does take quite a while.
So you're going to do anti-clockwise 100 times. And then you're going to go clockwise 100 times. 100 anti-clockwise, 100 clockwise. And you push your hand on your foot, and they call it point respiration. You push your hand in and your tummy in.
Point respiration, right.
Breathe out through your mouth and go. Then you relax, breathe in. So pushing the energy out of the point, go. Breathe in. Pushing again. Good. Now you can do that. So we've done, see, I couldn't get lightheaded already.
Stay awake, Pete.
Stay awake. So we've done 100 anti-clockwise, 100 clockwise, then we've done point respiration. Now you can do that 3 times. So you're going to end up doing 600, count to 600. Or it depends how
and you'll definitely be asleep by then.
You will be. And then if you want to do that, and then of course you swap to the other side. So you're going to do it both sides. Yeah. So you have both. And the same thing, it's going to go anti-clockwise, and then you're going to go clockwise 100 the other way, and then point respiration again with your hand on your tummy. Now, if you've never tried, this is insanely successful how this works. And it's just such a simple exercise, because what happens is the counting. It's got a lot to do with the counting, getting out of your right and left hemisphere. So we know that our mind shuts down, like our computer shuts down in a certain order. Our mind shuts down in a certain order as well. And it definitely doesn't shut down the emotional side. It goes to the emotional facts and figures, and then it shuts down. Yeah. And so we're trying to get ourselves in our mind side, which is the facts and figures, because that's the shutdown side. Get you out of the emotions, because the emotions will keep you awake. Yeah. So we get in the facts and the figures and the counting.
Yes.
This exercise dates back thousands of years and they understood the counting. It's like the counting sheep thing.
So I was going to say, there's the relativity to counting sheep.
To do with the sheep is to do with the counting.
Yeah, exactly.
So they worked out, it takes you out of the different part of your mind, the hemisphere of your mind. Yeah. And so, of course, they didn't use 1, 2, 3. They used Chinese. Of course. Chinese. But the principle is the same.
Yeah.
And if you just do, you can do 100, 100, then 101 and do 400. Yeah. Even after 400, you'd be pretty. Well, I just did, down, gone.
I did 1 foot. I did 200 on 1 foot and 200 on the last night. Enough. And I did some Sage Presents. Sent me off to sleep. Perfect.
Oh, we can do it together. So Sage Present features a very famous exercise out of the Shiva Tai Chi Gong system. And this exercise helps relieve stress and strain and worry, and it helps to calm the nerves. So it's a very good exercise for shutting down at night time. It's a little bit complicated in a certain way, but it's very good in another. Now we're going to, at this stage, I won't worry about the feet at the moment. We're just worry about the hands. Yeah. We're going to go across the body. The hand comes up and it goes across, and it's called Sage Presents Peach. So you have it like a peach in your hand, the other palm's facing the ground. Then we're going to rock back onto the other side, and we're going to swap hands. It's going to come past your tummy and goes across, and then present the peach to the other side. And you're looking at the hand where the peach is. Yep. And you come back, and your hand comes up past your tummy and goes over the top. That's it. Yep. And so we're rocking backwards.
Come back onto the heels and then coming forward onto the front of our feet.
I might not. I'll keep the heel. Probably won't mention that.
Yeah, okay.
But understand, we're just rocking forward and back will be fine. Yeah, like that. Now you breathe in as you come back and breathe out as you go forward. Long, slow breath, yeah? So we want a long, slow breath. Remember, we get more energy from the oxygen. And then breathing out as you go forward. Breathing in. And then breathing out. So when you do this exercise, it's like everything just slows down. It's like going in slow motion. All of a sudden, the body slows down. And you slow the breathing down, so you slow the exercise down. Breathing in. And then breathing out. And you just feel the body almost like it floats. Yeah. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then you just keep slowing it down and keep slowing the breathing down. Amanda's part of her breath what you teach is about this slowing our resting breath down, or breath pattern down.
To 5 to 6 breaths.
Yeah, 5 breaths. And so what this does is teach you how to do that. Because as soon as you're breathing in and breathing out slowly, all of a sudden we're getting down to that level of the breath pattern. And we're doing the exercise. You could almost do the 5, 6 breath pattern and do this exercise, the breathe in and breathe in until you get to the same breath pattern. There's this, your music that you use, it goes up and down. Yeah, so you could do this exercise with the same pattern to see how fast to do this exercise to bring it down to that optimum level. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Breathing in and breathe out.
Beautiful. One more.
And then bring your hand down, just like that.
That's Sage Presents Peach. Beautiful pat. Hopefully that will help with some sleep.
See, they're all gone to sleep now. Hopefully they've all gone to sleep.
And finally, someone asked about clearing deep phlegm. Blimey, how do we do that, Pete?
Good. So that's a herbal formula for that one.
Herbal formula.
So understand Chinese medicine and phlegm. Phlegm is fluids, congealed fluids. So it's not this, because it's not the phlegm in your nose thing where you're breathing out phlegm out of the thing, which is the body releasing all the bacteria and stuff, and the body's getting the bacteria out in the phlegm. Okay. Phlegm in Chinese medicine, you can get phlegm internally. And it's like the fluids that's moving around. Fibroids and things can be seen as phlegm. Any growths in the body can seem to be phlegm, and the thing congeals and it gets like a blob inside your body. And then the problem is when you get that, then the body starts producing blood vessels to it and starts growing it. Okay. And that's where the growths come from. They're not necessarily cancerous, it's just the phlegm congeal. Okay. And there's Chinese formulas you can get actually break these down. They break down the fibroids, they break down and they're famous. Yeah. If I've got someone on the moment who had a fibroid with this bringing us down to about that big, just taking some herbs I gave her the other. It takes a little time because it's breaking down a part of the body, but it's stopping that part of the phlegm. I'm not sure whether that's the phlegm the person was asking about or whether it's
probably around the chest. And who did ask that?
If it's the phlegm in the nose, that's the bacteria getting out of the body. So there's bacteria in the body, and that's the body's normal way of getting rid of it. If you have postnatal drip, there's a certain bacteria that lives in the back of your throat
Okay.
And that particular bacteria loves dairy products.
Oh,
That's why when you eat cheese or have milk, you get that
cannot,
phlegm in the morning.
yeah, right. Okay.
Because it's the casein in the milk. It feeds it. It's its number one food.
Okay.
It's sitting there waiting since the very right, here it comes. And then you have the big phlegm thing in the morning after you had some ice cream.
Yeah, wow.
And so that's the one to keep away from that. Because that, and when you starve it out, once it's gone, it won't come back.
I would like to say that Pete and Forest Rock Qigong has a plethora of extraordinary free videos that you can watch on YouTube.
Yeah, it's Forest Rock Qigong.
Forest Rock Qigong. Some of them are sometimes 10, 15 minutes but all relating to different mental, emotional, physical.
Weekly classes that I do every week. They're free. We're putting them up every Tuesday at night.
Right.
So we're doing 5-minute videos. We're doing 10-minute videos, nice and short practices.
Yeah.
And for specific things like chronic fatigue or asthma or God, a myriad of different things that can be different conditions. Premenopausal symptoms, things like that. We're doing all of those. Yes. And we're just giving an exercise, Qigong set of exercises that are good for that particular practice. We do that every week.
What a gift. A whole lot of free resources to tap into that. And of course, I'm be teaching also Qigong on the platform here, on the membership platform. We're doing a retreat here in Bali next month, a 3-day retreat. Pete's leading the Qigong, Josephine's doing the sound healing, and I'm going to be teaching breath work. You do in-person courses and you do online courses. So there's an opportunity to experience more with Pete and have the experience.
Yeah, and the thing is with it, you can go onto the YouTube thing and you don't even have to pay for it. But anyway, hey, I just want to say, Amanda's fantastic. Come and do the retreat with us for the 3 days.
Come to Bali next month.
Come to Bali next time.
Yeah,
3 days.
It's been a real pleasure to be an assistant at the school this year and also share breathwork.
It was great.
I'm so thankful for you all being here today, and thank you so much, Pete. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. It's been a real pleasure to see you all, and I hope you've enjoyed this and got something out of it. I'll be sending a replay. I'm so honoured. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.